Here we are, exercise 5, AEVFX. The first time using mocap for something else than roto. How exciting is that? Let's start with Ash, who has a really strong attempt, so let's see how it looks.
Hey Boston, where's your choke that mad if you know what's up. Listen, AEVFX is headed north, and we want you to join us. Because for us, VFX ain't a fad, it's a way of life.
Okay, well done. So Ash did told me that he only had time to do a couple of them, but I think those ones he did are looking pretty great. First off, he had an issue with how do you call that? Expand planar surface to the full size, which is really something I would do because that would help you avoid stretched out assets like the pen here is a little bit looking strange, and as soon as you have like really strong, oh, that was the only one. Yeah, a few people had the same problem. I would really go back to the lesson and like try to do step-by-step Mark's method. Otherwise, you're going to have some trouble like trying to tweak that using transform or like modifying a corner pin or something like that. Like that would be a pain. If you expand the planar surface and then put your assets in a pre-comp, that's going to make everything so much easier. So let's talk about this guy. I think that tracking is actually really good. What I was saying is the perspective doesn't really match perfectly the scene here. The pen looks like it's standing up a little bit when it should be the point should be a little bit more down to make it look like flat on the ground. You can't tell that much on here because it's not a like geometrical shape. I would try. I think you did that technique too. So you have the upper layer as like a Luma matte, and if you crush it a little bit more with a curve, you would be able to like see more of the background through it, which would help a little bit, like make it feel more not lived in. How do you call that for graffiti? Like more like it's been there for a while and like has some scuffs and everything around it. Another way to do that, you could also in the pre-comp, like if you pre-comp that asset, have a Luma matte within that pre-comp with like a random. I mean, if you want, you can do a fractal noise and like play with the settings, or just get a grunge texture somewhere over the internet. And I kind of like this because this is really popping out of the ground, but that's actually how it looks like if you look at like when they have logos on the pitch at any NFL game or soccer. It's really like they show up quite a lot, which I think is good. There's a little bit of sliding. This guy is like rotating a little bit up that way and down that way, so just make sure you get a nice track around the whole pitch for this one. Okay, I really love this one. At first I just didn't see it because I'm so used to have people adding assets around this part of the wall or on the garage door. I didn't even notice it at first. I would really try to push it and even get the same type of font that has the angled edges around everywhere. I really like the outline there. I would do the same outline on your eyedropper, so it fits a little bit more of that sock and like makes it pop a bit more. And that's also one. It's really, oh yeah, here you can tell. I would add some motion blur. If you see here, try to add the same thing there. So just by having the After Effects motion blur turned on would help blend it a bit. This is also a good exercise to add some grain to your assets if you're not using a blending mode that's making it really transparent or blending through. Add a touch of grain so it's matching a bit that background better. Nice job here with the two of them. Really well done with the You dealt with the lens flare really well there. I just feel like we don't see much of the wood pattern through it, which I think that's one of the first things. Like if you paint over wood and like start scratching it, you would see that the bumps of the wood coming through really fast. So I think you could again add a curve on your Luma mat and crush a little bit those curves. This guy works well because it's like color, so it looks almost more fresh or recent than the other one. And smart way to not put your character, not put your assets behind the the kid dancing, because that would be a pain to roto. I know some people did it, and I commend them for it, but yeah, smart move. Here, AEVFX 101. I really like that you match the previous name, so it matches the reflection underneath. That's an issue some people have where they just put AEVFX in small. Where here it works well, and since the reflection is so blurred, you can't tell. It's working really nice. Those black frame, I don't think they're in the edit. It's I think it might be issues with how many frames per second every, like all the footage is. I know there's some inconsistency, so I would really try to extend them to make them blend together. And I think that's it. And again, a black frame here. Yeah, really well done, Ash. I know that's a work in progress, but you're heading in the right direction, and looking forward to see the completed version very soon. Let's have a look at Cynthia's version, and let's play it.
Hey Boston, where's your key light at? Choke that mat if you know what's up. Listen, AEVFX is headed north, and we want you to join us. Because for us, VFX ain't a fad, it's a way of life.
Okay, so that's what I was saying. Here, look at this. How much details from the roof are popping through the eyedropper. That's great. I love that. You could even add some, like a second layer in your pre-comp to get more yeah, grit to it. But that's looking really good, and the tracking is working really nice. Yeah, I think that's awesome. Here, yeah, there at the bottom. I think it's sliding a little bit. Let's see. No, I think it's just because it's, oh yeah, it is sliding a little bit towards the left. Just a smidge. I mean, I think it's because I'm watching it frame by frame intensely. Most of the viewer wouldn't notice, but you are sliding a little bit towards the left as we go. And here is, again, a good spot to add some motion blur to it. Would help it blend a little bit. And I would tone down the black, because if you look at what's black in your scene, like those tires, or even the shadow is pretty dark, but I think you could just lighten up your black, like make it blend a little bit more with the background, because now it looks like, I mean, if that's the case, that's the case, but like it looks like it just got painted heavily with paint. So if you want to go that way, you could even make it drip, like there's a little bit of a drip starting there, like you could add a couple like ongoing ones, which could be pretty fun. Then this shot, again, well done with the flare. That's looking good, and we avoid the kid dancing. That's looking pretty solid. The track is looking good, and that's what I was saying. Seeing those wood veins through the graffiti is what I was looking for on the previous exercise from Ash, and that's working great, Cynthia. That's awesome. Here we keep the same name, and okay, this is a tough one, and it's looking very good. Yeah, this one always tends to move, but I think you're solid there. Really well done. And again, I love that the texture of the bricks is showing through. Could be maybe a little bit more there, but we still see them through it. No, I think that's good. Would be an absolute mad lad to climb up this one to paint it, but it's looking good. And this guy goes up a little bit at the beginning. I really like what you did with the texture. That's awesome. But you know what? Like here, it does pop up and to the right a little bit on the first few frames. Again, most people's eyes are going to be focused on the dancer, so you might just be able to get away with it. It's just if you want to put this in your portfolio as like a visual effects piece, I would just make sure that's pixel perfect before you do so. Here, black frame again, and no graphics on this one. Yeah, really strong one, Cynthia. What I was saying is that's also one of the exercises, like, can take forever to finish if you want it to be perfect for a portfolio piece, but that's already looking pretty solid, so you're well on your way there. Let's have a look at Greg's option there, and let's just play it. Okay, so Greg, who does not have music, which sometimes makes it much easier to, when I watch 100 of them one after the other, kind of be nice to not have music in your ears. Okay, so here this guy is pretty solid, but this guy is sliding a little. And again, I would make sure you get the nicest, biggest area you can, like including all that, the pitch on the left side. That might help you, and use the expand surface, planar surface, to make sure that you're sticking to that. And yeah, that would really benefit from some texture through it. I think what's happening here is pretty good, just a little bit of a green popping through. Here I would really use yeah, a textured layer on top to get it a bit broken down. This guy looks a bit squished horizontally, which might be the issue that you had to like use transform to put it back to the right size, because you I think you were not using expand surface planar, so that might be the issue there. And same thing as everybody else, add some motion blur to it, because like you could see the motion blur on the bricks and everywhere, and this is like pixel perfect sharp in the middle, so it doesn't really fit. But yeah, I like that we can see the bricks through it. That's really nice. Let's see the next one. After Effects, marvelously fantastic visual effects. Am I right? That's looking good. Very nice matching the edges. You might be able to also, if you don't want to add anything to this, just make it bigger and go a little bit almost underwater to the edge there. And I would add some paint drips or something to show that's like, it's not the perfect job that's been made in the well, how do you call that, a shipyard? But it's like actually somebody just painting that over. Could be fun. And this guy, I think the track is good. A little bit of sliding to the right, but I think this is a stretch too high, like the stretch vertically. So again, make sure to use the proper method that Mark showed. Otherwise, you're going to have some headaches just making everything match the proportion nicely. But beside those stretched assets, that's a really strong attempt as well. So looking forward to see everybody finishing their projects, and yeah, I'll be waiting for those. Until then, take care.